Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for Tuesday, September 9th, 2014. I'm astrologer David Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, I'm going to be gone for a month on tour, and I hope to see you on tour, so check it out at leokingevents.com to find out where I'm touring. And don't worry, tickets are literally coming out this week. We have almost buttoned down every location, so if you're really wanting to get a ticket, hold off, we're almost there. And get my September webinar, 2 hours into the whole entire month of September, a horoscope that's going to give you everything that you need to know for 2 hours. It's an awesome video download, and I have it half off at $4.99. Check it all out at inclusiveastrology.com. And Leo King Premium's up, my sun sign horoscopes, deeper astrology videos of the week. If you want deeper content of what I'm doing right now, check it all out at theleoking.com. And today we have got the moon finishing full in Pisces. The reason why I'm doing it like that is because that full moon definitely kind of, all the reality gets rained out. It's like a storm that comes in that moment when you feel kind of like, where's it all going? The fog banks roll in. Where's it all going? I thought things were going one way and now they're totally a different way. That's Pisces. It's the fish that swim all over the place. So part of this is surrendering to it, realizing the universe today. And maybe you've realized this over the last day of a full moon here, like you thought it was all going to go one way and now it wasn't. It highlighted deep wounds and needing to go and, be accepting of things. Maybe release and vent emotions, let things out. But I think that we have purged, and the moon's going to trine Mars today, so there's a will and a want to emotionally go, yet the moon is void in Pisces, and I think that this is kind of a day where there's still some patience, I think, to be found. We might be wanting things deep down underneath to get going, but there's a need to kind of chill out. The moon will come into Aries later in the night. Now remember, I do all these horoscopes for noon Pacific. So, later in the evening for us on the West Coast, we finally get the moon in Aries. So if you're on the East Coast, it's going to come in like tomorrow almost. If you're on the other side of the world, it doesn't even come in on Tuesday. So you have to see, as an astrologer, for me, I do these for Los Angeles time. Just so you know, add the dates or the hours to your life. But this is going to be where we really get the umph, especially as Mercury's approaching Pluto in a square. Venus is approaching in opposition to Neptune. And this is all going to be combining when the moon comes and slides into Aries. So this is a day where I think that the universe is about to gear a lot of things up. You might see some steady progress today, but it's not the big kind of clunk that I think will come in later in the day, or more into as we come into tomorrow. So they think there's needs to learn the surrender that's happening today and to see how we need to readjust our attitudes. Mercury in a hard square with Pluto, but yet in a very positive sextile now with Jupiter, teaching us to really go deeper and be positive and erase the darker energies that are getting in between our harmony, or these feelings of that it has to reach this certain place in order to be happy, in order to be free. No, you don't need to be there. You need to readjust your feelings now, get over the pains, get over the issues, because they're probably so stupid you're maybe not looking big enough. You're not seeing that there are a million other options around that could get you out of the situation. And today is kind of a continuance of that energy that finally wraps up and ends. And maybe this is the day where you just feel like doing nothing. That full moon in Pisces coming in and then void just kind of is like, ugh. But it's because you're getting prepared for some big shifts. Now Venus opposing Neptune now. Venus, which is the planet of making things happen. It's also relationships. Opposing Neptune, we're going to get lost. So this is where we're having to tap into higher dimensional energy and kind of go with the flow in relationships and projects and test these waters here and see if the facts are coming in, the details are coming through with certain relationships, certain energies, and kind of feel the reality. But on top of it, there's part of where we can't be overly too real, we need to go with the fantasy. On the other half, we can't be too fantasy, we got to be real. So there's an opposition of really getting into the bottom of where our intuition, where the signs are talking about in relationships and projects and things we're manifesting and so forth. And there's a need to maybe not let your own sensitivity of your self-worth get in the way of you manifesting what you need. This could be where there's issues around you not stepping into your worth and you're being too hypersensitive about things, and you need to kind of shake that off and remember to be the most amazing man in the world, yo. So I know this horoscope's, kind of Pisces-ish, the way that I'm doing it, but I want you to see that that's the energy. Is this sun in Virgo wants this thing to be done a certain way, especially as Pluto, it wants to be a certain way too in Capricorn. Earth signs want it all to be done this way, right? And here's the energy not doing it. That full moon in Pisces is kind of breaking it all over the place. It's like, a good example in the 60s when they would give military people acid, and they would not be able to be in the ranks anymore. It was like, blah, they were just all over the place. And then they were doing anything for the military, and people could totally take over the country, and they'd be laughing, come on in. Those were old tests they did on people in the 60s. And it's crazy that that's the kind of energy that's in, that we're all kind of dosed up from the universe to kind of drift off, expose our own deeper stuff, to kind of get to the core issue of things, of what's actually blocking the reality, not maybe physically, but what you spiritually are blocking your manifesting skills with. The deeper stuff. And it's almost like we've become aware of that now. Don't worry, when the moon comes into Aries later today, boom, you'll be fine. Things will get moving again, the reality starts to kick again, and things get back on track. It's almost like the universe was going, or it's like a jet ski on the water, and then whoa, kind of up on the water, and then bam, back down, and then you're back in it again. There's this weird kind of pull off. And don't trip out. Don't worry, it'll all come back down to earth. The card of the day is the Two of Swords reversed. So to me, the way that this is saying is, don't get maybe so sidetracked. I kind of look at this card sometimes as you maybe are sidetracked in your head. You might think that you need to make a decision when you don't need to. But remember that there's these forks that you can choose in the road. And I think that you need to really see that things aren't developed fully yet. So don't trip out that you need to make a decision today. Because especially as the moon is triggering Mars, I need to say this today, or I need to do this today. Or especially as Mercury's trining Pluto, there's this obsession that might be getting in the way of maybe the peace that we need to find. And as Venus opposes Neptune, maybe there's some sensitive issues you're having with manifesting that could be triggering some issues that you don't want to pull up today. Check out my website, inclusiveastrology.com, if you have any questions, or if you want to have a one-on-one reading. Thank you so much for all of your support, and I will see you tomorrow.